right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It is Manic Monday. Just made that up. Well, maybe the Bengals made it up, but regardless. Or Prince. I think Prince wrote that song. But anyway, we're here. It's Monday. I promised a live show yesterday during the screening of one of the new tour diaries. I'll tell you what, these tour diaries are on fire. People are watching them. And I wanted to tell you about some of the upcoming episodes. Plus, there's new interviews on the way. And I got to talk about the last episode of our live show, which has now become quite controversial, banned in some states. And I got a special guest stopping by too. So all that and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Just seems too good to be true. Nobody I'd rather waste time with than you. I'd rather waste time with more than you. And I'm glad you guys are all here. I'm going to get to your comments and questions in just a minute. I have been fighting I guess it's a cold since around New Year's, maybe right before I lost my voice in California or maybe in Detroit. I lost it somewhere. I still haven't found it. And it's just been trying to get through, been in bed. And I see a lot of people are sick. And in comparison, I'm not nearly as bad as them. A lot of people are riding the storm out tonight, snowstorm, snow covering much of the East Coast. As you know, in my former career, I was a meteorologist. Blanketed in white snow. We're going to have an update from the East Coast in just a little bit, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the last episode and why it was so controversial. So, if you watch this show, you know on Wednesdays I have Wednesday 13 and Sean Clark appear on the show. And it's sort of like a boys club, and we kind of try to have some fun. I grew up with Howard Stern, even David Letterman, and I grew up with things that were slightly risque, maybe even a little blue. Andrew Dice Clay, Richard Pryor, things like that. Sanford and Son, Red Fox. Red Fox, aside from Sanford and Son, worked a little blue. Now, excuse me, some people may have taken offense with some of the things that were said on the show and took it upon themselves to comment. Now, these new videos are doing so well that I'm getting a lot of new people, new commenters, and they're new to this channel and they're new to the things that I put out on this channel. So when Sean and Wednesday are on, as I said, it becomes sort of the boys' club. And but I tell you what, most of the ladies watching play along, have a good time, and know that it's satirical. It's meant to be funny. We're all in relationships. None of us hate women, or I mean, I'm speaking for myself. But so you have to understand that it's meant to be fun, especially when we play this game called FMK, which is when you have relations with a person, you get rid of a person, or you marry a person. And it's a game that's been around forever, and it's very silly, and it's very lighthearted. And we did it for a while, and then people in the audience would ask, so we would play along. Now, sometimes the ones are crazy. The last episode, someone proposed the idea of triplets, that each one had a little bit of a handicap, although they were beautiful. And someone said that maybe they would wheel one off a cliff. Hey, listen, I don't really want to get into all the details, but we kind of talk, and we get a little crazy because we forget we're even doing a show. We're being ridiculous. I think that's why most people like watching it. In this country, for the most part, you have freedom. And if you don't like what we're saying, you just flip it over. There's plenty of other things to watch. Eddie Trunk is doing a 5-hour show today. Every hour on the hour, he will tell you how he signed days freely. You go watch it. I mean, there's plenty of things for you to see. You don't have to watch this particular program. So I got some upset messages. And one of the issues, I called Jelly Roll a fat fuck. And I knew after I said it, it wasn't right. I mean, it's right either. But I knew that people would be upset by it. And it's not my thing to upset people, and especially people who are dealing with weight issues. Weight is a medical condition. Even if you're out eating, it's people stress eat or whatever. People have glandular problems. There's all kinds of issues with weight, and myself too. By the way, I battle weight like everybody. But when I look at people like Lizzo and Jelly Roll, and people say, "Oh, Lizzo is beautiful just the way she is," well, no, that's not true. And I'm not just giving my opinion. I think that you have a responsibility when you're that famous. You're sort of a role model, whether you like it or not. And promoting that I can be as heavy as I want also promotes heart disease, diabetes, other issues. I hate to sound like Dr. Now, but there's a lot of issues that come with that. And yes, you're beautiful as you are, and as a person, it may be what's inside. Although I think we found Lizzo was a fraud. Uh, but I like to see people work on their health as I'm working on mine. So I got an angry message. It said they are no longer going to see Wednesday 13. They returned their tickets to his live show because they were offended by what he said. And they made the point that Wednesday grew up in a trailer park, which is something that he brings up. It sounded like they were making fun of that. Interesting that that would be the case. So you're mad at people making fun, so you make fun of them. And then they brought up that I'm a diabetic. I think they were insinuating that I'm diabetic because I was overweight. Well, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I didn't get diabetes eating hamburgers and fries. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Listen, I support all my brothers and sisters. I hate that term. People out there who might also have diabetes. And I see people on the road and we talk about our sugars and all these things. And whatever you got to do to get by, I get it. But you got to be careful. So anyway, we're in this politically correct climate that I don't understand. Maybe it's because it's a generational thing, but people are mad. And I'm thinking, you're going to return your Wednesday 13 tickets. I didn't even know you could do that. You're going to return them because you didn't like what he said. Have you listened to his lyrics? He's got songs about sleeping with dead people. I mean, running people's heads over and doing it again. I could go on. That's as much parody as this show. I don't believe that Wednesday 13 is really doing that. I can't guarantee it, but I don't think he is. So if you don't understand Boys Town, what the hell is that? Got disco going on? Oh my God. I say Boys Town and disco music goes on. But if you don't understand it, don't watch it. There's other things to watch. Remember, it's all meant to be fun. I don't know where the line is drawn anymore. We live in a country where America elected a president who was famous for saying, when you're famous, women will let you do anything. You can grab them by the pussy. He said it, the president. He said it. I don't think he's going to say it at his State of the Union, but he said it. And he also rated women, judged them, said he would date his daughter. She was so hot. I'm not saying that's any of this is wrong. That's up to you. You elected him. But I am saying that he said it was locker room talk. Well, if locker room talk is good enough for the president, well, by golly, it's good enough for me. So anyway, don't get your panties up in a bunch. This show is meant to be fun, and we're going to talk now. We're going to get over this, and maybe, like I said, maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe I need to find somebody who's younger and Gen Z that I can blame. Maybe I need somebody to blame for all these problems. Here's Jason from Cincinnati.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Jason, what is wrong with your peers?
I've been wondering this myself. As you can tell by the Fonzie display case, I'm wondering the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not too sure.
You're probably the worst person for me to blame because you are 20 years old living in a 60-year-old world.
That's exactly it.
Jason, before we get too deep into all these things, you're in Cincinnati. What is the weather like right now?
Man, there are 11 inches of snow. I can't leave the house. We're snowed in.
11 inches of snow. And but is it nice to be snowed in? You don't have to go to work.
It's not bad. Yeah, I'll take it. But I mean, it's one of those things, you get 11 inches, you expect 3. It's the opposite of my ex-girlfriends where they expect 11 and they get 3,
I would have said it if you didn't. Um,
Thank you.
so what are you doing? How are you passing time at home?
Okay, so I've spent a lot of time on eBay. It's been bad. I've been going on eBay every day. I bought this. This came in the mail yesterday. Little signed Osmonds action. Little Donny
Oh,
Osmond crazy horses.
does it
Come
have the
on.
dead Osmond on it?
No, I wish it did. It's as good as it gets.
Nice. Well, you have
Are you
you have
listening to
Donnie.
this?
Yeah.
This album's insane. It's like a metal album, like a proto metal 70s hard rock album. Yeah,
Jason, would you like to hear my story about meeting the Osmonds?
I would love that.
I've never told this story before. The Osmonds were playing at the Orleans Casino here in Las Vegas, and it was a big anniversary show. And Andy Williams was there. It was like a 2 or 3 night show, but I went on one of the later nights. Andy Williams wasn't at my night. I wish I would have met him, one of the last sort of Christmas legends. But Marie Osmond's son, I don't know if you could say well, he committed suicide, I'll say it. And very sad. And so she kept her appearance, but obviously didn't want to be involved with any meet and greet type of thing. So the Osmond family was having an after party in the hotel. And I said, well, this is my chance to meet the Osmonds. You know, I grew up not with the Church of Latter-day Saints, but with the ABC Christmas specials. And I always wanted a big family that would go snowmobiling together. And so I was an Osmond, I'm an Osmond fan. I'm a pop culture fan, as are you. So I waited outside the front of the theater because the random family members who could not perform, there's some Osmonds who can't perform anymore. Alan is the oldest, and he has multiple sclerosis, and he can't perform. And at the same time, they have 2 brothers who were deaf. They're twins, and but they're in the act. I mean, they're on. They don't obviously they don't sing, but they sign and they're on the show. So anyway, I waited outside and met them, and I said, I better get Alan to sign while he still can, because multiple sclerosis is a sad disease, and unfortunately, eventually does away with your motor skills. So he came out. And there was a lot of people waiting, but I said, let me handle this. I know how to talk to an Osmond. And he said, well, what is it you want? I said, well, I wanted you to sign a few things. And he said, well, he was looking around. I said, how about I get you a chair? And I went up to a slot machine and I put a chair out. And Alan sat down. He had a cane. He put his cane down. And he signed our stuff, which was pretty impressive. He did not go to any after parties or anything like that. So, and then I met one of the deaf brothers as well, who was in the act, as I said. So I knew where the after party is. My friend Jay was with me. And I said, Jay, let's just go to this party. I bet you we could just sneak in. And I started to learn that these Osmonds are very, very nice. There's worse things you could be than a religious guy. You know what I mean? They mean well. They're loving people. And I felt like I could push them around and make them sign a lot of things. So we got to the front door of this big event, and nobody was working the door. It was sort of like the honor system. And there was a young girl there. Now, the Osmonds have later generations. There's one thing the Osmonds love. They love Jesus, and they love to bang. They bang until the sky is falling. I mean, they have so many kids, and their grandkids are now kind of the modern Osmonds. It hasn't really taken off. But there are younger fans who like that generation. They're not into Donnie Marie. They're into Donnie and Marie the Third or whatever. So there's this young girl waiting outside, 14, 15, I don't know. And she's on the cell phone with one of her relatives who's in the party, her mother, I believe. And she's saying, what do you mean I should just come in? I don't have a ticket. It would be dishonest. And I was chuckling to myself. Now, my friend Jay, he's half African American. He was the only person African American at the Osmond party. I was probably the only half Jew. So we both had something in common. Our people have been persecuted. So, and I was looking to blame Donny Osmond. So anyway, I told the young lady, I gave her some Christianly advice. I said, nobody cares. Follow me. And she did. And we walked in and we helped ourselves. The Osmonds, or I should say the Mormons, they're Mormon. They don't like caffeine. So they had all the fruit juice you could drink. Might be why I'm diabetic now. Too much of that damn fruit juice. Anyway, there was fruit juice on every table, and maybe punch pie and cookies. I can't remember it all. Anyway, we walked around and we just hammered the Osmonds. So I have all these things signed, including Merrill, who passed, and now I need Donnie, because Donnie was too good to show up, but he plays in Vegas all the time. And I've always thought this was a funny story. I don't know if the audience thinks it's funny. Hopefully you think it's funny.
This is gold.
I've never told it. Jason, this is why I like having you on the show, because you and I both collect memorabilia, and we both have a fascination with pop culture and things that came before us, because in all honesty, the Osmonds is even before me. I was born, unlike yourself, but you had good parenting, though. Your father, he wrote for Autograph magazine, right?
Yep. Whole time growing up.
Yeah, and he has one of the biggest collections of Cincinnati Reds memorabilia, right?
Yeah, he was the largest private memorabilia collection. He might still be, but the Reds Museum in Cincinnati, when that first opened, he loaned most of his collection to the Reds Museum to get it started.
So collecting memorabilia is something that's in your bell-bottom jeans.
Well, it's the same with you, you know.
It is, yes. But my father didn't collect as much. He sold it, and he appreciated it, but he didn't really like hang it on the wall. He should have, because boy, did he have some valuable things come in and out of our lives. But liking things before. When I met you, we met at the it was called Monsters on the Mountain. Now it's just called the Mountain Festival. No monsters allowed. And we met because you and your brother Jack, who is a twin, you have a twin brother, but you have different interests. We'll talk about that. And you guys were talking to me and Johnny Monaco because you watched the show. And I told you, I'm going over to the merch booth to look at autographs. I heard they got some Yngwie records. And you guys came along, and we sort of hit it off talking about these things. And I was surprised. At that point, you must have been 18 years old, right?
Yeah, I think I was 17. 16,
yeah, well, don't tell the authorities. But what does Kiplinger know? But anyway, you were young. And so we started talking, and you're like, I'm going to go to this convention to get a Mego figure signed by Fonzie and the Bionic Man. And then I realized you and I had a lot in common, despite being, 70 years apart in age. Yeah. And now we talk about this all the time. And I thought maybe some of my audience, I have 124 comments to catch up with, but I thought maybe some of them would be interested in this as well. Excuse me while I have a sip of my cool beverage.
Are we ever going to get Jason Green coffee mugs? Is that in the works?
I'm going to ask the shipping department. Now, we priced them. They were very, very expensive. And you have to order. The minimum order of coffee mugs was 100,000. So if anyone watching, it's going to happen. We need it. I mean, I'm still drinking out of my Christmas mug, and I'm not going to lie. Everything behind me is Christmas memorabilia, and the tree is right here too. I haven't been feeling well. I have these Frosty the Snowman toys. I've showed you these. I showed you those, right?
Yeah, I was there when you bought them. Yeah.
They still have the original orange Toys R Us stickers on it, which kind of makes them even cooler. Those watching, we're going to get to your questions and comments. I appreciate you all joining us today here on Waste Some Time with Jason Green. It's a different audience. When Wednesday's here, he has a different audience. Sean has a different audience. When I'm on my own, I have a little bit of different audience. Okay, so you're doing a lot of eBay while you're home, which is dangerous. I'm also participating in live auctions.
This isn't good. The live auctions you get caught up in. Mm-hmm. I stay off the live auctions.
I got a Chevy Chase Randy Quaid dual signed 11 by 14, and I got it with shipping for $90. And it's witnessed. It's beautiful, and as you know, if you pay Chevy Chase to sign that, it's $130. If you pay Randy Quaid to sign, it's at least $100. and then you got to get it certified, and you got to pay for the print. And at the end of the day, anyway, it was a steal. I've learned now. You want to do your bidding early in the day because some people have jobs, and so I can bid them. All right, let's take a look, and then we got a lot to talk about. 200,000 people watching. We're 20 minutes in. Let's get started here. Clint was the first one here. Clint is often the first one here. I'm so happy to see you. I mean, I can't really see you, but think like romper room. Francis had a mega horrible day. It's better than amigo horrible day. This is already making me smile, and it's not even on yet. You're the best, Jason. I think he's talking to me, but we can share it. Jason, this show means the world to me. Looking forward to tonight's episode. Well, I appreciate that. I'm dead serious when I tell you one of the motivating factors of doing this is how many people tell me show cheers them up, passes time. When people tell me about surgeries they've been through, loss of a loved one, it sounds silly because all I do is tell some dick jokes and complain. But the fact that it touches people means something to me. And I relate to it because Howard Stern meant something to me during times in my life that I didn't think I'd make it. And I laughed. Laughter is often the best medicine. Here's Brian Kirk, been around forever. This is not the fake Brian Kirk. This is the Brian Kirk. There's two. This one's in Canada. A nice Monday surprise. It's just a real nice surprise. How's everybody doing? We're doing fantastic. Jason Holstein saying hello to me and Michelle, and so is Lorraine. They didn't know you were going to be here yet. Sam is saying hello to Wednesday, but he's not here yet. He's not here. He'll be here Wednesday. I think since all the guys musicians that you should make a little band together. Well, this is something we're talking about. Sean on drums. I would play bass, and Wednesday would play guitar. He'd probably sing a little too, but he wants to play guitar. It will happen. You know, we're talking about merchandise. Me, Sean, and Wednesday merchandise. They're going to be Wednesday's appearing at the Creep IE convention in Ontario, California, not Canada. And tickets are available now. Wednesday's appearing. Sean will be there, and I'm going to be there. So I figured maybe we should have a print, and we'll sell this print at Wednesday's table. And if you want, you can meet the three of us, and it'd be fun. Look, you can meet us for free. You can come over and say hello. I'm happy to meet anyone, anytime, any place. If I'm in the restroom and I'm using the urinal, come over and shake my hand. You know, it's fine. I only need one. I'm like Rick Allen at a urinal. It's no big deal. Lorraine is checking in from the arcade again tonight. It's so good to see you. California Dreaming, checking in for work. She is a nurse. You know California Dreaming, Jason. You've met her many times. She's kind of from your neck of the woods. Yeah, if you ever need emergency appendectomy or tonsillitis or what, you go by and see her. Oh, Lorraine has an important question. Where do people get real vintage patches for the denim vest? Oh, I see. I think most of them are fake. I don't think they're vintage. I think most of them are reprints, but I think that's okay because they're more affordable. Jason, Michelle answered a little bit. Jason, do you know anything about these patches that are out there?
I don't do any of the patches. I see them at all the shows. I think it's more like an Etsy thing.
Etsy.
Maybe an eBay.
Michelle agrees.
Yeah, definitely.
Circle gets the square. You know, I've been hooked on Hollywood Squares with John Davidson lately because they have Christmas episodes. The sad thing is when you watch it, everyone is dead in the squares. And I've never told this story either, but I'm going to tell it right now for the first time. I went to Radio City Music Hall and I saw Hollywood Squares live. And John Davidson was the host. Shadow Stevens, I think, was the bottom square. Joan Rivers was the center square. Crazy Eddie was a square. His name was Jerry something. I can't Marin or something. Jerry something. And only East Coast people even know who Crazy Eddie is. Our prices are insane. And Jim J. Bullock was there. He's alive. But there was a lot of, I don't remember that much, but it was a great experience. If my mother's watching, I'll ask her later who else we saw. But anyway, I was watching it the other day and they're like, okay, I'm going to go with Mr. and Mrs. C for the block. And it's like, and there was Tom Bosley and Marion Ross. Old television is just great. You go on YouTube. I'm still watching Christmas specials. I still believe. All right. Sam Stanley says it's time to rock out with your see out or jam out with your clam out, and hey, whatever floats your boat. Family is gathering. Yeah, there's a lot of people watching. I'm so happy, and I'm happy to see people talking to each other because it's not just my show. I'm just here to facilitate. Um, and Jason, hopefully, we'll see more of you. We're going to see what the people think if they'd like to see more of you because you're in the upcoming tour diaries. I've been editing them. And people are going to see a lot of you. Oh, Jesus Christ is here. Well, JC, I mean, there's only one JC, right? Let's waste some time. Well, thank you. And look forward to seeing you on Easter this year. I've been looking forward to it for 49 years, but maybe this is the one. Is that offensive? Hold on. I have to ask the PMRC department, the censorship department. You think that one's okay? We say it's going to pass. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf because people are very upset about the last show, as you heard. Here's the 80s guy. Nice. We relate to 80s guys. Brian Kirk loves the Yoo-Hoos from the front desk at the hotel. So Jason and I, we enjoy a good Yoo-Hoo. Not the chocolate beverage. Well, I enjoy that too, but I can't have it any longer. You've had Yoo-Hoo, right? The beverage? Yeah. I just can't have it. Maybe a sip. Nothing's as good as it used to taste, though. When I was a kid, it probably had a different taste. I used to get that and a chocodile. Do you know what that is?
That is way before me. That is.
Chocodile was like either Drake's or Hostess. I think it was Hostess. It was basically like a Twinkie type of thing that had a black hard shell around it. Other companies have sold fake chocodiles, but it reminds me of a story. I was talking to Vinny Appice from I'm name dropping now. I didn't sign him though. He's in Black Sabbath and Dio. He told me that he loved devil dogs. He loved devil dogs, and whenever he would play in New York, he would be home. People would say, "What can I bring you?" And they put him on the guest list. He'd say, "Bring me devil dogs." Which you've had that, right?
Oh yeah. Devil
chocolate cake icing. So he said they brought him like 100 boxes. So he was backstage and he said, "I wonder who would like to have a devil dog with me." He told the story on the show. I knew it personally, but he told it again. And he said Tony Iommi would probably enjoy a devil dog. I mean, it is from the devil. And so he said he had a bite and he needed a little glass of milk to wash it down. I pictured Tony Iommi's walrus mustache with a milk mustache. Anyway, Chocodile's Yoo-Hoos. The Yoo-Hoo he's referring to is I went to a hotel in Cranberry. What's that city called? Pennsylvania. And the service was a little bad. I couldn't get the person behind the counter. My blood was dropping. I needed some candy. Normally, I'm smart and have glucose tablets in the room. I probably did, but I wanted something quick. And so I said, maybe if you want to get someone's attention, you should give them a Yoo-Hoo. And so I leaned over the desk and I went, Yoo-Hoo. And I did it a few times. And then I saw a guy, a poor gentleman, who wasn't able to check into his room. He was waiting forever. I said, I could just steal this candy. What's that?
You waited 20, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I said, I could just steal this candy, but he can't check himself into his room. And I said, perhaps have you given a Yoo-Hoo? And we tried Yoo-Hoos. Anyway, that episode's out right now. And yes, people are loving it. That one is really...
there's some Yoo-Hoos in the next vlog, right?
There's a lot more Yoo-Hoos to come. Yoo-Hoos all around. This is Troy. He says, Happy Manic Monday. Loved the last two tour diaries. And we're going to talk about it because Jason appears in the next maybe three. And they aren't edited. People also are wondering what's going on with the tour diaries. And also we got to talk about Johnny Monaco and his future on this show. We'll talk about that in a minute. But so these tour diaries, what I had, there were some issues with copyright and other things. I want everyone to watch them. I want everyone to watch them the way I intend them to see them. I don't want to have people watch with commercials. But truth be told, I make much more money if they have commercials. That's how I survive. But I didn't want to put up an inferior product, and I had to make some moves and make some shady deals, if you will. And so I think I fixed it. So right now, what I'm doing is for everyone who is a member of this channel, you're going to watch the tour diaries, 3 tour diaries ahead of every person who watches for free. And I think that's a fair trade. You're going to watch them with no commercials, and it costs $5.99 a month. I don't even get the whole $5.99. But so tour diary out right now, I believe, is number 70. I have already edited 71, 72, 73. So while the common folk are watching 70, my members have already watched 71 and 72. And so there is a lot of exclusive benefits to watching things early. So that's the explanation, should you wonder. Eddie Murphy Raw. Could you imagine Eddie Murphy doing Raw now? I don't think it would happen. Offended by disability. Yeah, look, obviously, we like to be silly. Need to have Johnny stop by again. Well, maybe now it's time to address it. Jason, I'm sorry I'm not letting you talk so much, but you look pretty. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Maybe take a shave. But so when I talked to Johnny yesterday, I said, Johnny, the people would love to see you again. And maybe we could do a thing every other month called, or every other week, or whatever, and we call it Mondays with Monaco. I thought it'd be fantastic. I asked him last year, which is a week ago, and he said he sounded good. When I asked him last night, he politely declined, and he told me, I don't really have much to talk about, and I don't think that I would do all that great. And he said, I appreciate you asking me, and he does appreciate all the people who watch. And he said that if I feel better and I have something to talk about, I'll take you up on it. And I get it. Johnny is a performer. Johnny wants to make people laugh. Johnny wants to walk an imaginary dog. He wants to let a neighbor in his apartment to check his bathtub. He wants to do the show from the shower, from the treadmill, on the way to the Styx concert. He wants to go have custard. I think if I told Johnny, me and you go somewhere and it's planned, he'd be up for it. But to just sit here, there's so many podcasters that stink. And they're boring and they're not funny. And I don't think Johnny, by the way, I think Johnny on his worst day is funnier than most people. When Johnny's in a good mood, he cracks me up. When he's in a bad mood, he usually cracks me up too. So that's the answer on Johnny. Give it a little time, and he will be back. Horror Chick is new to the channel. Horror Chick 71. I think she found us through Sean. She's been binge watching and really up on everything. She's saying 3 days antibiotics. Throw away your toothbrush. I did just get a new toothbrush. I get, maybe Lorraine had strep. I'm sorry. This is Trish, and Trish is a woman. At least I believe she was born a woman. And she says FMK is the best. Clear, it's a joke, and the triplets were not real. Well, thank you, Trish. And I think most women who are having fun. And by the way, I'll play with guys too. You want to throw 3 guys my way? Hey, I'll do it. I'm not scared. Classically deceased. I support you, Jason. People need to relax. You guys are having fun. And I respect that. Listen, if you don't like it, I'll have to make this a members only show. Wearing the jeans. But if people can't handle it, what am I going to do? Matt says people are way too sensitive these days. And all right, I'm going through it here.
It's time to move the satellite, Jason.
Yeah, it might be. I feel like that. It feels that way. There's a funny FMK here about the Sam Kinison meatloaf and jelly roll. If you tune in on Wednesday, maybe I'll present it to the boys. All right, I'm just trying to get through as many as I can. Yeah, Trish says, oh no, Wednesday's career is over. Yeah, I don't think one uptight person who I'm guessing was overweight, because she brought that up a lot. And hey, if you're happy and you're overweight, that's fine. I'm overweight. Truthfully, I'm not that happy. I want to be in shape by the cruise. Now I'm a media personality. People are going to photograph me on the beach. You know what I mean? And I got a much sexier, better half. I don't want to look like Richie Sambora and Heather Locklear, or even better, Richie Sambora and his hot daughter. You know what I mean? I want to, I got to get my ass, I got to get my ass in shape. I want to go down the water slide, but I don't want to wear one of those curly one-piece bathing suits from the Three Stooges. You know, if you go and look at my band Sin City Rejects, I was 95 pounds of sex appeal, and so I want to get it back. I will tell you that insulin causes belly fat, weight gain, and so the key to that is having less, injecting less insulin. It's very tough. I am studying with experts, and Thomas says it's people are so offended these days. Better make sure Johnny doesn't call anyone idiots if he joins. Johnny's not scared to offend anyone, but horrid chick explaining my autoimmune issue. And yes, people do need to eat chill pills. And yeah, a lot of people are surprised. And Blas Elias, speaking of sexy young ladies, he once said to me, a Siberian, he once said to me, the people who are negative are louder. And it's the truth. One person says you suck, but 100 say you're great. You'll hang on that one who says you suck. They don't speak for everybody. Yeah, Sam says maybe they should listen to Richard Pryor. Kel, I think it's how you say it. I think it's Kel, says he has an FF, overweight too. It's what it is. People need to relax. Exactly. It sounds like the person was a snowflake. I'm not big on that term. Hey, maybe you're right, though. Maybe all this woke shit is real. I don't know. I don't like to use terms, and I certainly don't like to affiliate with political parties or I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like to get into that. I like to have a good time, and if that means, you know what I'm saying. All right, I'm trying to get through the comments. Yeah, and this is MB1 Bumper. If I see you at the Hollywood show this weekend, would it be okay to take a picture with you? And the answer is yes, of course. I get this a lot. Jason, you relate. As someone who collected memorabilia, I've collected pictures with celebrities. I'm going to put a book out. I got so many damn pictures with celebrities that when someone asks me for a picture, it means something to me. The fact that you like what I do enough to want to take a picture means something. And so I would never say no to anybody. People have asked me while I'm eating dinner, who am I? You know, maybe there should be an etiquette, but whatever. I don't care. Come on over. And sometimes they pick up the bill. But I'm happy to take pictures. I'm happy to sign things. I'm going to need a website now that has a link. What I want to do, Jason, is I want to have a link to high-def pictures of my logo and stuff, because I support bootlegging. If anyone wants to make, because I sign shit all the time. Did you see the skateboards I'm signing?
I saw those. And license plates? You've done license plates?
I've signed custom pick guards, custom license plate, custom drum heads. I sign a lot of 8x10s.
I bootlegged that 18x24.
Is that what it was? Yeah, you have a one of one. Yep. But I want people to have the logo. If they really like this and they're into it, then I say let's do it. I really enjoy, and I like putting people on the channel too. You know, when people are a fan, I want them to be in the tour diary. It means something to me. Everything else is a joke, but the people care. Pretty nice. Robert Hart says, "Don't apologize for anything, Jason. You've never said anything out of line. The new normal on free speech is what's out of line. Plus, some people are too stupid to communicate with FM." I agree. Listen, I love all people. I like to have some fun though too, and sometimes fun is meant to be a little whatever. Lorraine says she had a Donny Osmond doll, purple socks and all. Too bad. I guess she doesn't have it anymore. That would be quite the collector's item. And people agreeing with you, Crazy Horses is pretty much the metal album for the Osmonds. Do you have Alice Cooper's Special Forces in that collection? Underrated. Do you have that, Jason, in your collection?
Oh yeah, I probably have 5 copies of that somewhere. Oh no.
You're giving Sean a run for his money finding stuff so fast.
Well, this is only half the. I have what a 5x5, so it's pretty high, and they're all maxed out. Plus, I'm pushing this way now, which isn't good. You know,
Jason, you work in a record store in Ohio, but because of the 40 inches of snow, you are. There was a rapper named Snow. Are you familiar with that?
oh yeah,
Yeah, he had a song called "Informer."
Informer.
It's great. I think the record was called 40 Inches of Snow, but you don't have that, do you?
Believe it or not, no.
Yeah, I had it on cassette. But so you work at a record store. Do you want to plug the record store? I mean, people might come in and see you.
Yeah, it's Hey Suburbia Records. It's in Mason,
Hey
Ohio,
Suburbia?
about 25 minutes from Cincinnati. So
Where is it? Say it again.
Mason, Ohio.
Mason, Dixon, Ohio.
That's it. Hey Suburbia Records, Facebook and Instagram.
All right, well, go in and say hello to Jason. Cincy Jason has quite the vinyl collection. Good on you.
Not bad.
Jason, you are the man. It could be either one of us, but thank you for connecting to Stanley from Life, Sex, and Death. There's still a lot to happen with that. Jason's uncle doll. Huh?
Have you talked to Stanley lately?
No, yeah. Yeah, he logged in before the Christmas show, and 3 minutes later, I told him, just come back in a minute. He never came back. He wished me a happy New Year and Michelle. Yeah, he's nuts, you know, but I mean, that's why we love him.
That pinball blog was so good.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Lisa Clark, enjoy the tour diary with Cincy Jason, his brother. Fun to see young people embrace history and wear the clothes and collect the treasures. So the episode that came out last is which the last one you saw, Jason?
I didn't watch the last one that you posted yesterday or whenever, but
yeah. Hold on, M. Night Shyamalan is here. Thank you, M. Night. This question is going to have no point to the ending. That's usually how it works. But thank you, M. Night. I know we're all dead or ghosts. I get it. The last episode, I can't remember, but the next episode is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I went to Ohio. This thing called Cloud Strike broke out. Although the woman at the hotel told us it was called Cloud Stroke, which was something that other people happened. We went to the baseball game in Toledo, the Christmas vacation night of all things.
Toledo Mud Hens.
Toledo Mud Hens. And we had a fun time, and that episode is out. But you then went to the next city with us, which I don't remember where it was. You probably remember. Where did we go next?
It's Toledo to Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. Cleveland area, right?
Yeah, it was the MGM Northfield.
MGM
Ohio.
Northfield. That's right. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about AI a little bit. I made the point, so now when I respond to comments on YouTube, I do personally respond to anything. I don't have a secretarial response, but they offer you AI suggestions. So in that episode, I said, I need to take a shower. It's been 3 days and I haven't taken a shower. And I said, but I do wash my bowls in the sink. Now that was being humorous. And somebody said, it's good to know that at least your gonads, that's not a term I use, was clean. And AI offered a suggestion. And it was something along the lines of, yeah, with all that sweaty band guys out there, sure is glad to keep them clean. How the fuck did AI know that? Okay, I'm trying to get through some. So anyway, that was that episode. It's out. But the next, and at the end of that episode, there's a 5-minute scene with you, Jack, and myself, and we're discussing what our plan is for the next day. Because we were going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I arranged a tour, but we did not want to do the tour because we had to get to the Christmas Museum by 3:30.
Yep.
Or they would not let us in. It was the last tour of the day. And I said, if the tour guide is hot, we'll stay. If she's not, we'll leave. Well, we got in before she was there. Her last name was Cronin, probably related to Kevin. And we made a run for it. The next episode is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got so many copyright claims. All the worst music, too. Rap music. They should. Now I'm starting to be one of these assholes who says you shouldn't even have rap music in the Hall of Fame. Hold on. This is Mal Gal. Since getting Matt Thorne's guitar pick and the guitar picks in the store, I started a guitar pick collection. Now trying to buy picks from bands I've seen. Very cool. Yeah, I think I've got a pretty crazy guitar pick collection. Craziest one I ever got. Right from his leather jacket pocket with a handful of change and some lint. Keith Richards. That's my biggest one. And I have Johnny Ramone picks given to me by Johnny Ramone, which that means the most to me, obviously. honestly, I really enjoy Jason's channel since I first discovered last year when Sean came on. Now I find myself watching every week, and especially on Wednesdays. Yeah, a lot of people came from Sean. A lot of people came from Wednesday. Some people just, obviously, some people came from Stephen Piercy and RATT. Um, Russell says, Jason, you're always a joy to watch here, but you really lifted my spirits right after my difficult penile enlargement surgery. It didn't go well, so thank you for cheering me up later that day. And that is what I'm here for. You'd be surprised how many people are having penile implant surgery and botched ones at that. And so, yes.
That's how Joan Rivers went out.
What happened?
That's how Joan Rivers went out.
Yes, that's true, but we probably shouldn't tell anyone. New Hollywood Square with Drew Barrymore as a host. I couldn't think of a worse thing to watch. Drew Barrymore. I loved Drew Barrymore. I met her so many times, and she was so sweet and hot, and she turned into the reason why I date people half my age. Drew Barrymore is like an old Yenta, and people are mad that she sits too close to them on the couch, and she gushes, and I don't know, man.
There's some hard moments on that show.
Yeah. Phoebe Cates, I bet you is still, she is as hot as ever. She's 60. I said we should do a newlywed game. Sean Clark and Nay, Wednesday and his lady, that's my lady, and me and the shipping department. And we said let's practice, because I said, because she said, how does a game work? And I said, well, they're going to ask you, like, what chick would I be into or bang? And she looked at me and she said, Phoebe Cates. And I said, we would win, because no matter what the question is, you can't go wrong with Phoebe Cates. Any woman, Phoebe Cates, top of the list. This morning, I wrote a moving tribute to Olivia Hussey. Olivia Hussey starred in a movie called Black Christmas. It's worth watching. It's creepy. Very rare I find a horror movie creepy. It's made by Bob Clark, who directed A Christmas Story and Porky's. What a weird career. He loves Christmas, though. And so Lloyd Kaufman of Troma, I wrote a draft of a movie called Romeo and Juliet. A guy named James Gunn came in later. Go figure. And where's his YouTube show? No one likes DC anyway. So Lloyd told me, go watch 1968 Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet. Couldn't think of anything more boring. It's 3 hours. Watched it on TMC, and all of a sudden you see Olivia Hussey topless. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Now, and it changed my life. I became an Olivia Hussey fan forever. Now, later I found out maybe her age was something of an issue. But don't worry, she got naked in every other movie since. Maybe not Black Christmas, but so this morning I went down a deep dive as I was writing my eulogy, excuse me. Trilogy is an Yngwie Malmsteen record. As I was writing my eulogy, I realized her daughter is really hot and looks a lot like her. And so I did what I do. I Googled her, but I added the word nude to my Google search. I do that a lot. Do you do that, Jason?
I don't.
Yeah, I
only Bloss. I
want to see everybody. What'd you say? Bloss?
Only for Bloss, yep.
Yeah, well, you have a point there. I see some super chats. I'll have to hurry up. Boy, is that daughter smoking. So then I'm like, I wish she would do some conventions. Her name is India Isley. Her nude. Her father is David Glenn Isley, who was in the band Jafria or House of Lords. He's a rocker, which is cool. And I met him too. But anyway, she's dating Henry Thomas from E.T. Filming movies E.T. Yeah. And Henry Thomas has had 3 wives with multiple children. He probably could be president. Anyway, I don't know where the eulogy was going, but Olivia Hussey was beautiful. God rest her soul. What great boobs. Great boobs. What was that's incredible, John Davidson? Yes, John Davidson has an incredible social media on his social media. I recommend you watch it. He lives in this little crazy boat city, and he spends most of his life living on a boat, and the boat has some crazy Spanish name, and he has a club in his house. It's in his garage, and he has 8 seats, And if you're visiting like Puerto Vallarta, you could come over to his house and see him perform. It's not my job to say, but he looks like he is the most flaming island person I've ever seen in my life. But he has kids. I mean, who the hell knows? But he is just like, well, here I am on the Santa Maria. And Jason, you watch this.
I'll check that out tonight.
You'll be hooked. And he does mail, I found out, autographs, if you know what I mean. But John Davidson is hilarious. And Jerry Carroll, that's the guy's name. Thank you. Not Cousin Eddie, but Crazy Eddie. Hold on, I'll come back because I got to get to these super chats. Scott, thank you so much. Nothing shows your support more than a super sticker. So thank you. And Horror Chick 71, I get you, 13, and Sean. Oh, I got you. Oh, holy cow. I got you, 13, Sean. I got you. Jason, read that, would you?
I got you, Wednesday 13, and Sean, a couple of things on eBay auctions, just to say thank you for distracting me from crazy politics and making me laugh. I hope I get to meet you guys one day.
Thank you, Jason. I mean, that was good. Good reading.
Thank you.
And this is why, if I had children, I wish they would be like you. So, thank you. I hope you meet us too, especially if you bought us stuff. But thank you. I'm glad you're on board, and I'm glad you get it. Thomas says it was a great punk band called Devil Dogs. Lorraine, she thought it was dry. I thought it was dry too, and so did Tony Omi. That's why he had some milk. Sebastian Bach on Worst Cooks in America last night. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch that much TV. I'm watching Osmond Christmas special still, but I mean,
77 share Christmas special and Partridge Family count.
I mean, what do you think the Sebastian Bach cooking show was like? You know, like, dude, I don't know how to cook with rhubarb. You know, I mean, like, they probably give him stupid things like, dude, I don't even know. You know, something like that. I just think he is like, you're making a cake. You know, things like that. And dude, pass me a beater, you know, whatever. Maybe beater was the wrong one to say, but I love Sebastian, by the way, and I wish he would do this show, but there's certain people. I heard some Enough's Enough news today.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think I could say it, though. They have a new guitar player, and I don't think I can tell you. I mean, I can tell you, but it was a very complete tour diary. Hotels, mooching about, pre-show, backstage, the show, and the after-show part. Yeah, they're going to get good, these damn tour diaries. You're going to like them. What was your favorite Christmas present, Jason? I got the Buck Rogers box set. So fun. It's funny, Michelle got her father the Battlestar Galactica movie, but I knew he wanted the TV series. And Michelle, you know, she's younger. And when he got it, he went, oh, this is nice. Now, if I could just find the TV series. We did find it in Walmart. So when it's his birthday, he will get the TV series.
Look, I bought exactly what my mom told me to buy him. It's not my fault.
Your mother screwed up, yeah. Well, anyway, I have the Battlestar Galactica box set that comes in the giant Cylon head.
Yep.
I'll tell you a little bit about my Christmas because people want to know. I got all kinds of cool stuff. Some of it's still behind me, but I can't reach it right now. But I wanted a Red Ryder BB gun. Some people say you'll shoot your eye out. Michelle listens to me very, very carefully. And I give her a lot of credit for remembering shit. Because I say stuff all the time. Oh, you know what I want? I want it. So I opened this BB gun up on Christmas, the Red Ryder BB gun by Daisy. Well, when Michelle ordered it, I see she's typing away. When she ordered it, she didn't look at the picture. And she was correct. It was a Daisy BB gun, but it wasn't the Christmas Story anniversary collectible. It was a gun with a deer's head on it. I am completely against hunting. I don't want a picture of a poor. And Michelle felt terrible, and she feels even worse than I'm telling America and parts of the world. But I said we got to get rid of it. like most people with a weapon. Oh, we got to get rid of it. And so she said, or go to McDonald's and get caught. So she said, well, I'll get the money back on Amazon. Amazon said, you can just keep it. Don't return it. Just keep it. It's yours. By the way, if you want a free gun, that's what you do, a BB gun. You go on Amazon because they can't return a thing like that. So I have a deer hunting gun here if anyone would like to come over sometime. There's no deer around here, but I got a C word for a neighbor who plays music at all hours. I don't know if I can say any of this. I better talk to the legal department. But anyway, so she said she'll get me the other one. Lisa says she told Johnny he needs to come back. Johnny doesn't like to hate as well. Again, oh yeah, let's not forget Johnny and the potato. All of this could happen. But he just wants a break. You and Johnny at a restaurant. I think that would have been great. Johnny is so funny, unique, and real. Wouldn't it be great if me and Johnny went to dinner again and took everyone along? I think it just takes time. Jeff Gunn's saying hello to Jason from Cincy. Yes. Members only jackets. I have the Clark Griswold members only jacket. I will be wearing it on the 80s cruise this year. I need to get a pair of white shoes to match.
When is the 80s cruise?
When is it?
Yeah.
First week of March.
Okay.
And I will dress like Clark Griswold for the entire cruise, and I'll look like every other middle-aged man. Oh, Ron Jeremy's here. Thank goodness. The all-star show tonight. M. Night Shyamalan and Ron Jeremy. Hey, Jason, keep up the great work. The channel, and forget the haters. Thank you, Ron. As you know, Ron is in a coma, but wakes up to comment. Oh, there's Gabe Kaplan, Mr. Cotter. I stand with Jason. Haters can suck it. This has got to be the most all-star one ever. Lisa said FMK, Johnny, Wednesday 13, and Stevie. I mean, you guys want to play? You guys want to play along, I guess. Johnny, Wednesday 13, Stevie. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd probably marry Wednesday 13. But he's my favorite.
He's my favorite.
He's very handsome, but he's a handful. Go to dinner with him. He needs some. I'd have to order. You know what I mean? Can we pull over? I'm thirsty. Wednesday could be in a car for 10 minutes and go, I could use a drink. My mouth is dry. You're on a freeway. He's watching on the treadmill now. He claims he walks 17 miles a day on the treadmill. He was at Marilyn Manson's birthday party yesterday. Wednesday 13, he hangs out with the Hollywood elite. Let's see here. Sylvester Stallone has hot daughters. Well said. Let's see. Hey, Jason. This question comes to you from Matt. On the last tour diary, you and the band rented a car and drove to the hotel. How did Steven get to the venue? Does he take a separate car? He walked. No. So we try to rent most of the time when you travel in this day and age. The venue provides the pickups, either a limo, a van, SUVs, whatever, and they're in charge. But sometimes they do what's called a buyout, and they give you money and they say, figure it out yourself. It sucks, but some places like state fairs, usually we have to get vehicles. So what happens is you rent a van, a 15-passenger van, which is the ideal way to travel. And then when you get there, they tell you, oh, sorry, we just ran out of vans. So there's some bullshit. Even though you reserved it, they don't have it, and they give you 2 vehicles. In those tour diaries you were watching, what would happen is Steven doesn't go to sound check. And for anyone waiting outside with autographs at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as I see, you ain't going to see him. He ain't coming. So what we do is me, Eric, Matt, and Blas go right to the venue. If we leave a hotel, we go to the venue, and Eric will drive Steven and Christy to the hotel, and then Eric will join us later as we have it set up. At least that's what happened in those videos. So Steven most of the time travels with the band. He lives in a different part of the world, country. And so sometimes on shows, I will send Steven separately. The venue will send a car for him. Listen, Steven, the band is called Stephen Piercy. It's not called Stephen Piercy and the Other Guys, or it doesn't have some stupid name like the Conspirators. I mean, it's Stephen Piercy. And so maybe he gets some VIP treatment sometimes. He damn well deserves it. He has a suite on the cruise. I learned that today. All right. I'm not going to answer people who comment in all capitals. Jason was very nice to us in Gatlinburg when we asked for the picture. That's Captain Mullet. Well, thank you. I try to be nice to everybody, I think, except for Jelly Roll, and he doesn't need me. So on the next Tour Diaries, the next episode that is going to be released to members only. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Right now, go join it. You're going to watch it tonight. You're going to see the next episode. Me, Jason, Jack at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It took me hours to edit, and it's a short episode. Yeah. After the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we went to a place, and that's the end of that episode. The next episode is called Castle Noel. Me, Jason, and Jack celebrated Christmas in July at a Christmas museum. And when we got there, it was bizarre, by the way. And when we got there, the original elf from A Christmas Story, who pushes the kids down the slide, pushed us each down the slide. Do you have a picture handy?
I have a photo somewhere in one of these books.
All right, if you can find it. Mine is packed away. But he pushed us, and he's in the video. You're going to meet Drew, the angry elf, and it was crazy. And
I loved it.
It was fun.
It was one of the more memorable things this year. You know, like it was just a fun experience. Yeah.
And it was unique. If you like roadside attractions and weird things,
definitely.
It's weird. And then they allegedly have Cousin Eddie's RV. I think it's fake, but watch the episode and find out. But it was fun. And then from there, so I'm editing that right now. And then from there, we go to the Christmas Story house, which is also fun. And so if you're going to see a lot of Cincy Jason. Does Cincy Jason have the RATT catalog on vinyl?
Oh yeah, I got everything. It's box sets too, deluxe editions, imports, wherever. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere.
I have those new ones around here somewhere. I think I moved them.
Yeah. You know, I really liked doing the Christmas Story house. The gift shop there was way better than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame gift shop, better than Castle Noel's gift shop too. Like it was all.
I agree.
Right there.
Christmas Story house. That's in Cleveland, and the Bumpus house is next to it. There's a museum next to that across the street, and there's a gift shop. It was the best Christmas gift shop I've seen. It was better than Macy's, FAO Schwartz. I don't know if you can say that anymore. It was better than. They had everything, and it was not just Christmas Story. They had every Christmas thing you could think of. It was giant. It was fun. And how many records do you think you have?
900 to 1100, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have Holy Diver in your collection?
I actually am not into Dio. I don't like Dio. I don't like Rainbow. I like Elf, but not into Dio.
You're bigger on Will Ferrell. I get it.
That's exactly it.
Horror Chick's thinking about going to Horror Hound Cincy this year. Jason will be there.
That's
and
worth it.
Sean Clark should be there.
Always.
I'm going to 90s Con. I'm so excited. 90s Con. I've wanted to go for years. It's in Connecticut. I go to Connecticut once a year with Stephen Pearcy when he plays the Mohican Sun. And it never works out. I fly so much that to get on a plane to go to the East Coast when I'm not working it's just too much on me. Well, it turns out the same days as 90s Con, Stephen Pearcy's playing in Connecticut, and Sean Clark has the cast of Scream, including Nev Campbell, at 90s Con. But Jason, let's see how well you know me, and then if you don't get this right, we'll go to I'll phone Michelle as a lifeline. Who do I want to meet most at 90s Con?
I don't even know the lineup.
You just got to guess off the top of your head a 90s person that I would want to meet.
Punky Brewster going to be there?
Punky Brewster.
Okay.
I have fantasized about Punky Brewster since she turned 18. And I watched it as a kid. I was a kid too. Like many, I cried when she had her breasts reduced. But I am such a fan of Punky Brewster. And I'm going to buy one of those big Galoob dolls. Hey, if anyone watching wants to get me a gift, my boss, Frank Shirley. No, if anyone's looking to buy me the perfect treat for no purpose other than I entertain you, it's by Galoob. It's a doll. It's about this big. It has to be in the box, though. I don't want one that somebody jacked off on. I want a real premium Punky Brewster doll. I'll bring it to the Stephen Piercy show and get it. I got to bring it there somehow. And I'm not flattening the box. I'm going to bring the whole damn doll. And I am so excited to meet her. But it's the cast of Scream, cast of Saved by the Bell, cast of Beverly Hills 90210. And I have pictures signed by Shannon Doherty and Luke Perry. So I got some money in the bank. Jason Holstein referring to the golden shovel. Do you remember the golden shovel?
Great. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still confused by it, though.
What is it?
I'm still so confused. Like, I don't know why it was there.
People watch the new episode. Kitchener Leslie says Stanley manages an apartment building. There's a rumor that he may be people. He owns. I don't want to get into it. I think I showed that, but thank you again. I'm going. Oh, the Gong Show with Mike Myers. Oh my God. That sounds like something Jimmy Fallon would host. Mike Myers is also overrated, unless it's the guy in the William Shatner mask who kills people, who I spent a lot of time with at Sean's Christmas party. I don't want to see him. Mike Myers strikes me as the type of guy who goes, okay, hey, I'm Mike Myers. It's just Jimmy Fallon. I don't need it. Not for me. When we went to Sean's Christmas party, Nick Castle was in the driveway entering the house. Same time as us, which I knew was a good sign. I didn't time it that way. Well, maybe we did. Did we time it that way? No, I think it was random. But I said hello. He was introducing himself, and he said, "I know you from YouTube," which what an honor, you know. I'm sure he watches when Sean's on or whatever. But who thought he'd watch anything, you know? And he gave me some big news about his band, the Coupe de Villes, which is him, Tommy Lee Wallace, who also played Michael Myers and directed Halloween 3. And John Carpenter, but I can't release it until time. I want him to come on. I'm going to try to ask Sean if he'll make that happen. I think it would. But anyway, at one point, me and Nick Castle were standing alone in one of Sean's man castle rooms with all the Michael Myers masks from the different movies. And I told him, I didn't think Sean was going to invite us because, you know, I thought at the end of the night, me and Wednesday would try to get you to try on all the masks. And he said, if you would have got me drunk, I probably would have put them all on. Could you imagine? I should have gave him a shot. I'll tell that story when Sean's back. Okay. Brian has an idea. You should pull a random record every 10 minutes. I'd like to see it. Just reach in there, don't look, and pull a record. This could be good. What do we got?
Little 90s death metal from the UK. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Did they call that an OB strip or is
an OB strip? Yep, you see those on LPs and laser discs.
Looks like it's in good condition.
Yeah, not bad.
Have you listened to that particular record?
Oh yeah.
All right, you
can't go wrong with that. I'm not big on the death metal stuff, but that is it's different. I love that album.
Well, and we'll check in again in a few minutes before the show's over, and we'll have you pull another one. I like this. This is ML King, not Martin, but Mark. Mark L. King. Hey, Jason, love your show. We met at the Stephen Piercy show in St. Louis at the Factory Car Show, September 2022. Sounds like a Robbie Crane show. It was. Robbie Crane came in for a few shows before Matt came back, and me and Robbie went to the car show together. Remember that? Got a photo and a pic. Thank you. Keep doing what you do. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, Mark. That's very kind of you. Appreciate it. And I'm glad we got to meet. Here's Brian, who's coming to us live from Bay City, Michigan. I've been to Bay City, Michigan. I think I was just there. FMK. This is Vince McMahon. As you know, Vince McMahon was the former CEO of the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation and no longer. Now The Rock owns a bigger share here. Tonight, wrestling returns, Monday Night Raw, on Netflix. Were you aware of that?
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Should be big. I'm going to tune in. Aubrey Plaza, Nikki Glazer, Sarah Silverman. Vince, first of all, thank you for your service for all your years. I don't believe that you did those things that they said. I can't even say the things they said, but this is a good one, quality one. Aubrey Plaza, by the way, is in mourning. Her husband tragically passed the other day, right before she was supposed to go to the Golden Globes or something. And by the way, Aubrey Plaza has a pair of Golden Globes, if you know what I mean. Aubrey Plaza had quite a tragic life. You know, she went into a coma, but she was awake. I don't even know how to say it. She was laying there for a week and knew what was going on, but couldn't speak. She had a brain problem. Okay. Then you have Nikki Glaser, who I'm very late to the Nikki Glaser world. I know she talks about her vagina, and that's kind of what she's known for.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But I saw her thing at the Golden Globes last night. I just watched it on YouTube, just her part. And she was very funny. And this morning on Howard Stern, she told the jokes. Yeah, she told the jokes that she can't tell. Anyway, I'm kind of a fan. And then Sarah Silverman. I used to like Sarah Silverman a lot. Sarah Silverman's got a bush that would knock your Aunt Connie's socks off. She shows it in a movie. Google her nude. Jason, you ever play one of these games?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, here's your first one. Let me see what you think.
Well, Sarah's going to go. First off, no Sarah. I'm done with her. We're gonna F Nikki Glaser because it's one and done. I don't want to. It's over. And then Aubrey Plaza. After mourning, of course, marry her.
Yeah, I think that Jason, you might be on. Vince might agree. Jason, I think you're onto something. Nikki Glaser is the least famous, although right now she's pretty famous. But I'm a little bit of a fame whore. I used to kind of like Sarah Silverman, but yeah, she's probably a pain in the ass. I'm going to go with you. The only thing is, what if Aubrey Plaza has that brain thing again? What if it comes back? And then you're stuck with somebody who can't see or speak or hear, like Johnny Got His Gun or Tommy. But I'm with you. I like Aubrey Plaza. I find her funny. I'm sorry what happened. It's not a time to make jokes. But let's see.
And I did find our photo of Castle Noel getting pushed down the slide. I don't know if it'll.
I'm right behind you, actually.
Yep, you're right there, and we're getting pushed down the slide by the elf.
There it is. And this was random. The guy just happened to be there.
It was so weird.
He stops by occasionally, and he said, "Hey, while I'm here, I'll shove a few straight folks down slides." You know, yeah, he was a good guy. You'll see him in the episode. Dokken on tour with Firehouse. Wow. I was in Detroit and heard it announced. First of all, I bet it's fly dates, not tour dates. But I heard Dokken is unwatchable. I'll let you know on the 80s Cruise. I'm a fan of Firehouse. I'm going to ask Bill Leverett to come back on. It's always difficult when one of your when the original guy is gone. As soon as I have time, I'm going to binge watch. That's Lorraine. Thank you. Cincy Jason, what is the best and worst album you have?
There's a lot of bad stuff in here. It totally depends. I don't know. Best stuff? Let's check this box right here. If I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So this is a sealed 1964 introducing the Beatles. It's a column back press, so it's a variant. And from what I can tell, a sealed one has never actually went up for auction. So, opened copies, I saw one go for about $2,300, this pressing variant. So that's probably the heaviest one I have.
All right. Well, look at that.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah, listen, that's a real collector's item.
The same
when
box.
I work. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Now, was that in there?
That was not in that album.
Oh, that was sealed.
Yeah.
Wow,
and that's for the fan club in February of '64. And it's weird. Half these are written, signed by management, and then the other half are signed by the band. So I have to get this thing authenticated. But
yeah,
not bad either. You know.
No, it's very cool. Either way, it's quite collectible. Jason, is Steve appearing in New Hampshire this year? I love when people abbreviate his name. Steve. I've never heard anyone call him Steve. One guy did it. He's not with us anymore. Anyway, I think there's a New Hampshire date. I'm not sure I'm allowed to say it, but I think there is. But let me look at the president of tour dates. Yeah, it sounds like there might be. Jason, are you confusing cruises? Piercy is playing Monster Rock. No, I'm not confusing anything, Cape Cod Ken. I'm going on the 80s cruise. And when I get off the 80s cruise, I'm getting on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Stephen will only be on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Greg has a question. Do you have Slave Raider or Pretty Boy Floyd on vinyl?
No Slave Raider. I have every Pretty Boy Floyd album, though. You got to get that. Even the Cleopatra stuff, which probably isn't worth owning, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Lorraine asked if he had the Beatles. He answered it. Jason answered my question that I will be on both cruises. So did Lorraine. And so did Michelle for good measure. Do you think that Jelly Donut will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 20 years from now? It's hard to tell. I'd say no. I think this is a very quick phase, and no. Jason, you want to meet Fairuza Balk? I've met Fairuza Balk many times. I saw her on Off-Broadway in New York. Killer Joe. You know, there was a show called Killer Joe. It's a famous show. It's also a movie. And you could go see it on Off-Broadway. I went to see it. When I went to see it, Michelle Williams was in it, which is the widow of Heath Ledger. And she was on Dawson's Creek, and she's an accomplished actress. She's naked in the show, completely naked. And so is Lori Petty, also completely naked. Fairuza Balk was in the show before. Had I known you can go and see famous people naked, I would have went more often. My girlfriend at the time told me, listen, don't embarrass us. You know, I go, look, I know the scene she gets naked. She goes, well, don't start like craning your neck and easing around in your chair. Nowadays with cell phones, it wouldn't happen. There's a scene though where Michelle Williams drops her drawers. She also had a bush that would knock your Aunt Connie's socks out. I think they grow it for the show, you know. Anyway, and then the lights go out. And I'm not going to lie, I knew it was coming, so I opened my eyes like this. So I didn't miss a second of it. And then after the show, I had the pleasure of meeting her, and I looked at her differently. She's a cool chick, though. Horror Chick thinks that shovel might have been, and so does 80s guy, maybe it's what they broke ground with? Maybe. Someone thinks it's what they buried the chambermaid with. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you better watch some tour diaries. Wild Angel 1987 would like to know, does Jason have a lady friend? Cincy Jason, that's you.
Cincy
and
Jason.
Do you have a lady friend?
Yeah, I have many of lady friends.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, did you know he had a lady friend?
No.
I thought you were single.
Switching things up a little bit, Jason. It changes every week.
You know what he's talking about? First of all, you don't know what Wild Angel 1987 looks like, Jason. So if I was you, I would have been evasive, much like the president. And because what if she wants to stop by the store and knock boots?
This is true. Well,
he's
I will sign 8x10s if you come to the shop. I will.
He's single. Okay, hold on. Try again. Did I get through everything? Oh, this is a tough one. Kato Kalin is here. The celebrities are coming out in force for tonight's show. I thank you because I could use the support. And it's not the toughest. It's not the toughest. It's close. The first two names got me worried, but the third name, I know who I'm getting rid of. And by the way, for those of you who were worried that the show was going to suddenly become politically correct, I'm about to get rid of Jennifer Love Hewitt. This is tough. I mean, obviously, if you marry them, you get to have relations too. I mean, not obviously, but in most cases. Look, Phoebe Cates is 60. I'm going to have relations. I'm going to marry Punky Brewster, who is around my age. And that's how I feel. Do you have a different opinion on that?
It's dead on.
All right. Is there any chance Stephen Piercy will be coming to Oklahoma City? They keep asking about places that might be happening that aren't announced. That one's a while off. I can't say, though. I can't say. Well, what a fun show we're having. I had nothing really prepared, but I thought, Jason, that I'm trying new things this year. I'm throwing things against the wall and see what sticks besides my socks. And I was thinking that maybe having like a record store kind of moment with you. Tell me what's happening in the industry, that kind of type of thing could be fun. And also we have like-minded opinions on certain things. I think that you, myself, and Johnny Monaco should all get the Yngwie Malmsteen vitamins.
That's it.
You were the first to bring it to my attention. Now it's everywhere. But I think we should take them. I mean, I probably would shred, classical shred.
They're $50 after shipping and tax.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that what it is? Really?
Yeah.
Does he sign it?
No.
Will Stephen Piercy ever come to Canada? Well, what part of Canada would you like to see? That's Jeff Timis. Jeff Timis. Thank you for being a channel member. Would you like to see him in the Vancouver side? West Coast? Because that might not happen. Or would you like to see him east Canada, by the place where Superman 2 was filmed? Because if you would be interested in going to that place, it might happen. Edmonton. My geographical expert says you're out of luck. You're out of luck. But if you move to the other side of Canada, you might have a moment. Anyway, question: will this year be Invasion in its entirety? Not decided yet. Not decided. Back and forth on it. It's been back and forth. I'm not sure because there's just so much going on. I want to talk about internet rumors and trolls and fans. They have these message groups for M3 and all these pages, and people guess who's performing, and they guess when the date is. And I'm here to tell you that 99% of what you read is wrong. People are saying what Stephen Piercy's plans are for the year. Most guesses are wrong. Look, I'm not telling anything. There's some stuff that's going to happen this year. You're going to love it. Stephen Piercy has said that something. You must have read the last comment. He said that something is going to happen, and interesting big announcement. That's his announcement. Although the second that announcement is made, I will be here live to gloat about it. Lorraine says people are going nuts on the M3. They are. They're all pretty much wrong. And they're fighting, and then they get into things, and they get personal, and they're guessing which bands are playing. I can't tell you if I know the lineup or not. I do. But I can't say a word. But I can tell you that almost all these guesses are wrong. And you know what? Sit back and have some faith. It's going to be good. You don't want to go to the boardwalk and see Motley Crue. They stink. And anything with Buck Cherry, Sickness, Disturbed, anything like that is garbage. You don't want to see that. You want hair metal, and M3 will give it to you. All right. Since we're talking about political correctness, Margot Kidder, PJ Souls, Olivia Hussey. This has got to be back in their day. Two of them are gone, and one of them is not what she used to be. It's tougher than you think. Look, when I was a kid, Superman was such a part of my life. I'm having relations with Olivia Hussey. I'm going to have relations with PJ Souls, marry Olivia Hussey, and I'm going to let Margot Kidder wander around the bushes outside the Amityville house. Do you have a different opinion on this one? Maybe you do.
I'm swapping the Kidder and the PJ Souls.
Mm-hmm.
But not bad. Not a bad list. Yeah,
PJ Souls was in Stripes. She was in Halloween. And she was in Rock and Roll High School. That's why it's a little hard for me. A lot of people think you look like Doug Henning. And not a lot of people. But yeah. Do you know who Doug Henning is?
Oh, yeah. The 70s magic memorabilia that is in this house is incredible.
Is that something that you collect as well?
I got really during COVID. I got really into collecting Elvis and Doug Henning. Those were my two things.
You're joking.
No, that's it. I have programs, signed playbills,
Well,
props.
was Doug Henning a married man?
Towards the end of his life, he went on to like a prayer farm or something. There's a really interesting article about it.
There he is.
It's uncanny.
Doug Henning was a magician who had he was very feminine. He was definitely like one of those, hello, Frisco. I mean, he was definitely one of those types.
There's a great video. It's all you have to go on YouTube is type in Doug Henning, Annie Slide. It's a great video. It's about 7 minutes long. Just watch it. It's worth it.
Yeah. I'm starting to see the resemblance. This one picture I'm looking at is from San Francisco newspaper. Imagine that. And you have strange role models, but I mean,
No.
Do you do any magic?
No, I don't do any magic.
Mm-hmm. Do you have Magic by Pilot?
I need to cut the bangs. That's what's next.
Do you have the Pilot record by Magic?
No. I'll keep
Do you
it
have
going.
Rick Ocasek? Oh, it's Magic?
I might.
Yeah. All right. Wow, look at this. Boa G has an actual costume of his. How about that?
Yeah.
You might want to go over and visit Boa G and see it.
I'm heading right
his
now.
father was a magician. It's only an illusion. That's right. Yeah. I could have seen him live. I should have. Who do you think weighs more, Jelly Roll or Juan Crusade? I haven't seen Juan Crusade in a while, so unless he's eating a lot of Jelly Rolls, I'm going to say Jelly Roll. Do you want to try to answer this? This is Green Eyed Girl 8. What are Cincy Jason's top 5 bands? And love that flowing, gorgeous hair, too. Jason, you're going to get a lot of trim from this
Thank
show.
you. Yeah, this is great.
But what, and here I am making fun of you all the time. And look, these broads love you. Top 5 favorite bands. I can never answer these questions. I can't narrow it, but maybe you can.
See, it comes down to the New York Dolls, the Ramones, the Cramps. Those are the big ones. Red Cross. And let's throw in RATT. Let's get RATT in there.
All right. I think those are interesting choices.
Yeah. Red Cross is the most underrated band of all time. That is.
Well, Jim says he thought you were going for a Nugent look. That's your brother more. Your brother's more than Nugent.
Man, Jack looks like pretty close to 77 Nuge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, save some women for us ugly long hair guys. Yeah. Wayne agrees with you. Red Cross is excellent. Asking, what do I think of the new Cure album? Have not listened. I want to listen to it in its entirety. Now, I've heard a lot of the songs live because they've been playing them for like 5 years, some of these songs. So I knew a bunch of them. But I want to hear it in its entirety. We're coming up on 90 minutes of fun. Only 2 super chats, but I'm still having fun. Now, Jason, tomorrow, don't call me and ask for your percentage of the super chats like someone we know does. Which is okay. By the way, I offered that person to come back. I offered them a cut, a share. They still said no. Still said no. I figure after 90 minutes, they're not watching anymore. So be all right. All right. Ever listen to Teenage Head? I have.
Phenomenal. Yeah, that first album's as good as it gets.
Mm-hmm. Listen, people don't want me to do FMKs anymore. They're saying that the show should become politically correct and that it's disrespectful to women. Anyway, Gabe Kaplan has an FMK, Mr. Cotter. Elizabeth Hurley, Mia Sarah, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Couldn't be easier. Gonna marry Mia Sarah, star of Legend and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Hot, smoking hot. When we were on the 80s cruise, there was 20,000 people dressed like Sloane on that cruise. None of them hot. And then I think then I'm going to have relations with Tiffany Amber Thiessen just because I grew up on Saved by the Bell 920. And I'm okay without Elizabeth Hurley. She's hot, but I don't need her. Tiffany Amber Thiessen was engaged to a guy named David Strickland. There's a video on my channel about the final days of David Strickland. A few days before his marriage, he hung himself in a hotel here in Las Vegas. I visited that hotel. People ask me when I visit these haunted or creepy type places, does it affect me? That one did a little bit. Editing the video, I was living alone, and I was editing it like at 4 a.m, and I kept going over these shots of the room. There was a wooden pillar in the room where he wrapped the sheet through, and you couldn't look at it and not think about this guy hanging there. And I was picturing it. It was a little weird. I also am very serious about this depression. I've suffered. Everyone's, I think, in some ways or other. But it shows you how fragile the mind is. This man was engaged to Tiffany Amber Thiessen, starring on a top-rated TV show. He was a handsome fella. Still decided to end his life. Very sad. And so anyone out there who's thinking about going to a hotel in Las Vegas, don't do it. And get help. Talk to people. I bet you there was help for David Strickland. Sadly enough, I bet you if he could have held on just a little longer and didn't take that trip to Vegas with Andy Dick, by the way, not a smart person to travel with. I think maybe he'd be with. Anyway, I hate to bring the room down. I'm going to skip this one, last one. It's enough FMKs for a minute. Okay. Jason Holstein says, Cincy Jason will be paid in trim, as you say. Yeah, trim. You know who uses the word trim a lot?
That would be Chip Zenoff.
Mm-hmm. Chip Zenoff. I didn't know if you knew it, but you did. You did know it. Yeah.
That's the fifth band. Chip Zenoff, Enough's Enough. That's the fifth greatest band.
Yeah, no Chip. List. To me, Chip is a mild part of it. It's a composite. To me, I think Derek Frigo is more important than Chip Zenoff. I really do.
I totally agree. And Frigo was like a Johnny Thunders kind of type. There could have been so much more to that, and it's a shame what went down.
Another guy, drugs got him, but some people say he might have been off. I don't know if you've heard that, but there's definitely, he was a troubled guy, and but boy, he could shred, he could play. He was just, and they haven't had anyone since. Johnny Monaco, by far, was the closest, I think. Yeah. And they showed this guy that's going to play 4 shows with them in Florida or something. He's from Brazil, and he's like doing like tapping, like. It's hard. There's not a lot of money for bands like that, and so it's hard to get a good steady lineup. But anyway, maybe I'll have Chip on the show.
I'd love to see a Chip one. And
yeah, could happen. Here, wow, what do you got there?
This is the signed promotional flat from Strength.
Nice. I see there's a Donnie drawing on it.
Yeah, there's a full Donnie sketch of the band. I need to find out who did this.
Didn't I get this? I thought I had this appraised for you by Johnny. Isn't there a bad Johnny signature on there?
Not on this one. This is Frigo era. So this is probably like 91, 92.
Well, hold it up to the camera and I will give it a closer look. I see Chip. And, I see it. That's Frigo. Donnie. No, Donnie's on the bottom under Chip. So who do we think that right one is? We think that's a Derek, maybe?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a Derek.
Yeah, he smudged it. I have some Dereks here, and it looks like it's missing Vic Fox. But one day you could add that.
I hope so.
I mean, he's alive. Glenn D asks, which one of you would win at 70s, 80s trivia game? It's a great question. Jason knows a lot. I'd like to think I would win because I'm 30 years older than Jason. But he would be a good adversary. He knows his stuff. I mean, I put you. Say it again.
It's eclectic. You gotta know a mix.
I would put you against anyone of your age. I'd put my money on you. I'll tell you that.
Perfect.
And maybe someone even 10 years older, even. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do that. It would be like Jake Paul or Logan Paul or Peter Paul and Mary fighting Mike Tyson, though, in some ways. If I win, everyone will say, yeah, look at you. You picked on the young guy. You're an old jerk. And if I lose, everyone will say, look at you, you dummy. You brag that you know all this pop culture. By the way, coming very soon, there's going to be a new pop culture feature, a daily feature I'm adding to this show. This is Gracie Gal. Gracie Gal, hello there. Does the alternate Jason, that would be you, Cincy Jason, I think. Do you have a YouTube channel? Good question. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I'm working on that. So this year I'm going to do kind of a memorabilia interview kind of thing. Not like Wasting Time with Jason Green, but, a little parallel.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. And Jason will be here and plug it. I'm glad that so many people have enjoyed this show, reminding everybody the shipping department looks like it's time for dinner. Is that what we're? No. Oh. Now I'm distracted. We with tour diaries. Let's plug some stuff. Tour diaries. There's 73 of them right now ready. I think 70 are up to number 70 is up to the public. At some point, I might open the back ones up, but I'd like to see some people support the channel and become a member. It helps, and get to watch them early without commercials. I think that's worth the $6 a month, $5.99 if you will. Thank you, Gracie Gal. I don't know where Gracie Gal. Where did you come from? How did you find out about this channel? Because I don't remember. I don't recognize you. Did you come from the record store, or did you come from Land Down Under, or did you come from Sean Clark, Wednesday 13? Blah, 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 blah. Lisa knew about Enough Stuff from Howard Stern, same as me. Same as I. So, tour diaries galore, interviews. If you want to be a member of my Patreon, by the way, you could ask questions of the guests. That's another thing that's going on. Oh, she found from one of the tour diaries. Stuck around since. Thank you, Gracie. I appreciate that. Very cool. I like that we're reaching new people. The problem, as I said, is when you reach new people, some people don't get that we're having a good time. Gracie found us from the Blue Ridge Festival. Very cool. I got in a lot of heat for the Blue Ridge Festival. I made fun of all the bands. And look, that's what I do. And I'll stick to what I said. I don't believe that in 40 years there'll be an anniversary of Five Finger Death Punch. I just don't. Not to say that some people don't like them. I just don't see that going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Unless they buy a ticket, maybe. So, the new interviews. Tomorrow, I got to get up early because my guest tomorrow likes to get up early. You think seniors would go to bed early, but no. Rudy Sarzo will be the interview tomorrow. It'll be airing soon. But if you want to ask a question of the legend, Gracie agrees with me. Thank you, Gracie. I was trying to figure it out. I thought Gracie might be the age range of some of those bands from Blue Ridge Festival and then would hate me. Like most of the world. So my brain, what was I saying? Anyone listening?
Upcoming events.
No, that wasn't it. That's why I sometimes don't look at the comments. Oh, Rudy Sarzo. Jesus, where are you guys at? You kids, the problem is you kids are on your phones and you're looking at other things and you're texting and typing. Do you feel attacked? Rudy Sarzo, and then on Wednesday, I will be interviewing Jimmy DeAnda of Thank You, Lorraine. Lorraine, paying attention. There you are. Chris says he loves Gracie. Chris, do you know Gracie? And Gracie, do you know Chris? I am, but I suppose I already got an old jaded mind. I hate most everything. Well, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Denise is a little late. Denise, you'll be sad to hear Johnny Monaco has declined my invitation to appear. He said that he has nothing to talk about right now, and he doesn't really want to come on and not be entertaining. And that when he has something to talk about, he will. And I don't blame him. I understand. Love Johnny. He'll be around. He's in all the tour diaries. He's always funny. The greatest Johnny Monaco moment in tour diary history, I did not record in time. Steven likes to take these scooters in the airport. You know, the little shuttle Jeeps or whatever, they drive around. He doesn't like to walk very far. Steven's had surgery on his knees. So Johnny said, wait for me. And he ran after this thing. And he fell and he grabbed onto the back of it and it dragged him through the airport. And I was freaking out trying to record it. But he was also in a phase where he was mad at me. He goes through phases where, anyway, but he'll be back. Gracie does not know Chris, but Chris says he just loves her. Love is such a strong word. Chris, are you deciding that you love Gracie just from her profile photo? Is that even her? That could be somebody else. These photos are so small. So, Chris, what is it that has made you interested in Gracie? And Chris, where are you from? What just the state. You don't have to give me the address. And yes, it was worse than a scooter. It was, but it was funny, and luckily he was not hurt. Where is Stevie Rashaw? I haven't seen him here in a while. He's getting ready to go to Thailand. He'll be back. Stevie is always around. I love him. His answer is yep. So he loves her from the profile. You can't see anything in these profile photos. Gracie, is that even you in your profile photo? Have you contacted Vanessa to see if she's available for an interview? Would be good. Vanessa was the woman who lived over Johnny. Circa 1992, did a shot in somewhere in Greektown, Detroit, with Rudy Sarzo and Adrian Vandenberg after a White Snake Def Leppard concert. Very cool. Time for another random album. I agree. I forgot. Let's have it.
So we can't get to it. Gotta have something. Ooh,
Fat Boys.
Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
Never be whacked.
That's a great one. Jason, you're probably wondering, do I have a Fat Boys story? And the answer is yes. Right across the street from Studio 54, which became the Ritz, and there was a pizza place called Luigi's. It was great, but we wouldn't get pizza. I'd go there and I'd get some baked ziti. Boy, was it good. 54th and Broadway, probably. Anyway, one day we're in there, and the Fat Boy's in there. I can't think of his name right now. The light-skinned one. Not the human beatbox. He was already dead. He was the leader. I think he's dead now, too, I think. Not to, and this is what I say about Fat Boys. Be careful. Anyway, and I did get a photo with him there. I think Chris is from Akron, Ohio, home of Ripper Owens. And Gracie, where are you from? Are you anywhere near Akron, Ohio? I'm curious if maybe Chris is looking in your windows at night. Lorraine, Lorraine asks. Lorraine writes, how are Cincy Jason's albums arranged? Good question.
Well, at the moment, they're not. That's the issue. That's why I'm so confused. Where's anything at? I took everything out to inventory it this week, so I got to figure that out this week.
It makes it more fun, the random game. Prince Mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Prince Marky D. Yeah. I knew he was royalty, the Prince. Denise is from New York. Denise, do you remember Luigi's then? Boy, was it fun. Okay. Have you ever thought about interviewing Milojinkovo Michivojink? I have. I don't know why I didn't ask him when I saw him last. I don't know. Yeah, Milienko Matijevek of Steelheart and Steel Dragon. Gracie says, I'm from the UK, but I make sure my curtains are closed extra tight anyway, la fella. Now, if it was alternate Jason looking in, I might leave him open. Jason, look at this. This is the move. You go on a much older person's show, and you put on your sex appeal from 1971, and anyway, but Gracie, is that you in your photo? Asking for Jason. I'm going to skip this one. Oh, it's not her. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know where you saw it, but no, it's not her. So, Gracie, maybe we should ask. Should we ask Gracie how old she is? Gracie, how old are you? Gracie's probably 16 years old, but maybe not. Jason is only 20, right?
21 now.
When was your birthday?
It's June. It was
Missed it.
whenever.
Oh, she's 20. Well, look at this match
Look at
game.
that. This is huge.
Jason, have you thought about going to the UK?
No. Believe it or not.
But I mean, would you? They got a lot of vinyl.
It's true. Well, I guess we gotta go now. So if you want to book a RATT tour,
I worked on a show called MTV's Real World. It was filmed in Nottingham, and I think that's where it was. Or is that where Robin was from? Anyway, I spent some time in England, and I really enjoyed it, and I would like to go back. You know what I like about England and the English? They speak English. And, well, anyway, Thomas also lives in the UK. He says not as terrible as people are saying. I don't know. I've never really said it's that terrible. I sort of liked it. And they don't have gun problems or other. I had to go out. I lost the keys to my flat. And they told me I had to go find the person who has it. And hold on, I'm gonna connect Jason in a minute. And I went through a neighborhood. I didn't know where I was, and I guess I was walking in a bad neighborhood. And this one guy came up to me. He looked a little bit like Huggy Bear from Starsky and Hutch, and he tried to mug me. I think. And I think he said something like, "Might I have your wallet?" And I laughed in his face. I was born in the Bronx and grew up and went to school in Harlem. There's no this what do they call them, Chads? This Chad wasn't gonna Chav, yeah, Chav. I hung out with an English chick once, if you know what I mean. Chav, yeah, thank you. Anyway, I was not scared. Look at all the people from London. This is multi-relevator. I don't know if I said that right, but it's 3 a.m. there. Well, anyway, Jason, give out your Instagram because Gracie would like to hit you up with some spare vinyls. By the way, I don't like when people call them vinyls. I just like vinyl. No S on the end.
See, thank you,
got
Jason.
vinyl.
You were an industry professional too. You worked in records. What year did you work in records?
1875.
Okay.
Lizzie Borden was the first record ever sold. Not the heavy metal band, the girl who chopped their family's heads off with an axe. Yes, I did in early 90s. But anyway, so where can we find you?
Oh yeah, that's Stacks, STAX, the letter N, and Wax on Instagram. So.
Stacks and Wax, STAXN WAX at what? On Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Let me know how it goes. Gracie, apologize. I'll have to relearn English in relations to vinyl records. No, I was teasing you, Gracie. It's fine. And you speak the Queen's English, so it might be different. Jason, a while ago, you mentioned a story about meeting Eddie Van Halen and Valley Bird and Ellie. Never told it. Ain't chance. It's long. We got 12 minutes. I'll do my best. It's crazy. My friends and I found out that Van Halen was staying at a hotel called the Park Lane. This is with Sammy Hagar. And at the same time that this was happening, David Lee Roth was staying down the street at the Plaza Hotel, as seen in the movie Home Alone and other movies. And Love at First Bite, starring George Hamilton as a vampire who lives in New York. And so Gracie said, it's always nice to be schooled by the elderly. See the abuse I take around here? Anyway, so we knew that David Lee Roth was staying at that hotel. We waited outside the hotel, and Van Halen would each go to the concert in separate limousines. And that's elder abuse, by the way, Michelle. And so we waited, and all of a sudden, while waiting for the members of Van Halen, some were coming, some were going, David Lee Roth walks up the street by himself in a baseball cap. We follow him, as you would. We got to the corner, And we said, "Oh my God, Dave, you know," and my friend had Van Halen records. I didn't. I had an index card that he signed. And we said, "Could we take pictures with you?" And he went, "Let me ask you a few questions." And he said, "Did you guys see Van Halen?" It's like, "Now what do you do?" And we go, "Yeah, but it sucks without you." And we start doing all that panic. And he goes, and everything we said, Dave would go, "Is that so?" And we go, "Yeah." And he goes, and he asked like what songs they play. And he would go, "Is that so?" And so then he goes, "Now what is it you boys want?" And we said we wanted pictures. And I got a picture of me hugging David Lee Roth on like 57th Street in New York City. Well, later that night, Eddie Van Halen came out and was walking to FAO Schwartz. He was pushing Wolfgang in a stroller. We asked Eddie to take pictures, and he told us Valerie was ahead a little bit. And he goes, "Go back to the hotel. If she sees it, she was nasty back then. Valerie Bertinelli was not nice. Was not fan friendly and did not like the Van Halen fans. So we went back to the hotel, and when they came back, Valerie pushed Wolfie into the hotel and left Eddie to us, where he signed like 5 things for me and took pictures with us. And at that point, something happened where we told Eddie that David Lee Roth was staying at the Plaza. And he was a little surprised. And I believe he told the story on Howard Stern, but I believe he told the story that he went to the Plaza to look for David Lee Roth. He went and met him. First time he'd seen him and whatever, he ran into David Lee Roth. And Dave tells the story as I said, "Hey, Eddie, how you been?" And he said, Valerie said, "He's been fine." And I said, "What have you been up to?" And Valerie said, "He's been on tour." And he basically said that Valerie would not let Eddie speak. And when I heard this story, I was like, I set this Van Halen reunion up. I remember having the conversations with Dave and the conversation with Eddie that built up the story. I don't remember all the details. I have to go back and listen to it. But I remember that I was responsible for what was almost the Van Halen reunion, because they showed up at the awards shortly after that. That didn't work. Dave kind of overstepped his boundaries. Anyway, I think that's a fascinating story about Van Halen history. I told it in 4 minutes. There's more to it. The pictures are great. The pictures will be in my book that I'm going to work on. Every day I'm trying to get these celebrity photos in order. I don't know where to put them. And Matt enjoyed the story. Everyone was really quiet during the story. Everyone went from abusing me to listening to the story. And as they say, us old folks saw all the good concerts. Your generation has to go see, what's that band, Led Zeppelin Part 2? What is that shitty band called?
Greta Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, good luck with that.
On that.
They're actually Led Zeppelin Part 3 because Kingdom Come was Led Zeppelin Part 2. I made that joke right to the dead guy's face. He wasn't a nice guy to me. Gracie said she was strictly listening to Grandpa's Storytime, so I'll take it. Gracie, can you share your Instagram, because I would like to see if you're hot or not, because now that I'm being attacked for my old age, I would like to make sure that you are a smoking hot like Sporty Spice, my favorite Spice Girl. Who I saw live with Phil Campbell of Motorhead. You got trading cards on your Stacks and Wax? I don't think that's you, is it?
No. Oh.
No, there's X's.
STAX.
Come on, Gracie. Did they teach you anything in that country? Except how to surrender? STAX. I'm teasing. Lorraine, someone closer to my age, is happy to help. Not in a month of Sundays. I don't even know what that means. The Queen's English. Yeah. Well, I don't even know what to say. But I did enjoy your country. The beans on toast and mushrooms on toast is silly, and eating chips in rolled up newspaper, it doesn't seem sanitary to me. And your ketchup stinks. The ketchup is terrible. English ketchup is just like tomatoes crushed up. Anyway.
How long were you out in the UK?
How long have I been in? When was I last there?
Yeah.
Like 1963? No, 90s. I don't know. Been a long time. She said the newspaper ink adds flavor. I don't blame it. I don't really like fish, so I've never experienced it. They have good Indian food in England. That is what I had when I was there, mostly. And I had McDonald's, which is why I knew how bad the ketchup is. Hour 55 minutes, only 2 super chats, but that's okay. We had a lot of fun. I encourage people to become channel members. If you'd like to see Jason, I'm trying to translate her language. If you'd like to see Jason back, let me know, because I think Jason could add some color commentary to the show. Sid Vicious died, I believe, in 1980 or 81, and so I did not meet him. I would have liked to. He did live in New York City. I have a video coming soon where I visit the location where he died, and it's interesting. It's right next to Carrie Bradshaw's house from Sex and the City, and the site of the Stonewall riots. For all you history buffs, it's a jumping area, but Sid Vicious did not die at the Chelsea Hotel, as many think he did. I don't believe he killed Nancy anymore. I did back in the day. I've heard too many people tell me stories, even eyewitness types who are now gone. I say no. McDonald's has their own ketchup. We use Heinz. Okay. I liked vinegar. The most I have English food now is at the when I'm in Hogsmeade, at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios. They have a holiday feast that is fantastic, only around the holidays. And they have bangers and mash. And anyway, look at Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. That's very kind of you. Lisa said she is going to make up and throw down a super chat, which is nice of you. Okay, hold on. James Kotak. Yeah, he wasn't. I didn't get along. I didn't like him. Vinegar is awesome. Someone asked if I would overseas touring. Doesn't happen very much. I think it will when the big announcement is made that none of you know, and none of you have guessed correctly. International could come up. I don't know though. What was your first concert, Cincy? And how old were you?
Probably a Warped Tour. Back when Warped Tour was big. That was when I was 12, 13, 12.
Did you have the mustache?
I didn't have the mustache. That's a recent addition. It might be going soon. So who knows?
All right. Well, my first concert, not that anyone cares, was Menudo with Ricky Martin. Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah. It was a school trip, 6th grade graduating class. So that's like 1986, maybe. Anyway, and they said the seniors can get out of class by going to a concert. I was always enamored by fame because famous people are so much better than everybody else. And I wanted to see what it's like. You never saw so many hot boricuas in your life. I mean, it was in a Spanish neighborhood, and J-Lo was probably there. You know what I mean? It was magical. And anyway, they would lip sync. By the way, they were lip syncing long before it was cool. They sang like 3 songs to a track, and then they left. It was like in a school auditorium, and it was as close to Beatlemania until I saw the New Kids on the Block in New York City. Yeah. I did run into the New Kids in Manhattan with Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden. Story for another day. That's a teaser, as we call it in the business. Is Michelle studying to take the bar? Michelle passed the bar, and she is a lawyer. Greg Peterson's question might be a little too much. If Grace asked it, I would have put it over, but for now, I'm going to skip that one. Denise says, my first concert was when I was 15. I saw Oingo Boingo and the Police playing in Anaheim Stadium. Great first show. Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, we it's hard to believe. Pull one more record before we get out of here. People really enjoy seeing you pull random records.
Little Moby Grape.
Moby Grape, yeah.
Some of that. What else do we have? Oh, this is a great album. Brent Smiley, Breathlessly Brent.
I don't think I know that one.
UK glam album. It was only put out as a 45, and it's better than Bowie. If you listen to this thing, it's so good.
I don't think I would have ever have known that in my life.
That's a deep cut.
Looking at people's other first concerts, Motley, Faster Pussycat.
It's a cool one.
Michelle's with Styx. It's funny. I'm looking and I got someone here said Styx. Oh, Jason. Well, Michelle and Styx. Michelle and Jason both saw Styx exactly 75 years apart from each other. Jim showing his age, Edgar Winter and Skinner in 73. That's cool. Pre-plane crash. That's no joke. Horror Chicks saw Earth, Wind, and Fire at 7 at the Memphis Fair. That's cool. Lorraine's first concert was Yngwie Malmsteen with Lita Ford opening at the Beacon. I'm interviewing Rudy Sarzo tomorrow, and if you're a member of my Patron, you can ask a question. He did one tour with Yngwie Malmsteen. Could you imagine Rudy Sarzo putting up with Yngwie Malmsteen? Clint says Warrant and Poison at the New Jersey Meadowlands Arena. That's a good one. Bon Jovi and Skid Row. A lot of us are in similar ages. Jack Wagner, first concert, Lorraine. That's a good one. And Y&T. I never saw Michael Jackson. I probably should have. I mean, like everyone, Michael Jackson was the biggest thing in the world. This is before he played with Monkees and Macaulay Culkin and Emmanuel Lewis, but allegedly. But yeah, the Thriller record is the biggest thing of all time, and Quincy Jones was obviously a genius. My first concert was Barry Manilow, 1976 in Washington, D.C. I love Barry Manilow. I'm going to go see him again. We saw him in December. It was a very Barry Christmas. I have a Barry Manilow Christmas ornament hanging on the tree, and I was able to pull it off right there. There it is. Much like my balls, but straight. Yeah, you get what I mean. Kind of straight. Anyway, we got to take the Christmas tree down soon. Barry. Anyway, all right. Look, I'm trying to keep up, but this is we Loverboy and Joan Jett. Unfortunately, Joan Jett had strep. Rock Springfield. I believe that's Rick Springfield. Rick Springfield is one of my favorites of all time. Don Dokken and Leatherwolf for Lisa. Some people saying that Jason looks like George Harrison.
That's the one I get the most. When I was out with Peter Noon a few weeks back, he said I look like Jesus and George Harrison. So, I don't know.
First concert, 79. Judas Priest opening for Kiss. Great show. Cheap Trick opening for RS Speedwagon, Hershey, Pennsylvania, 1985. These are some good ones. Maybe we will get Dick Warlock on the up-and-coming Monster Rock Cruise since he was a no-show at the Monster Mountain. Yeah, Sean told me there's no way that guy's showing up. He did not, but he lives, I guess, near Gatlinburg. Dick Warlock. I think we got a better chance of Nick Castle. And yes, I will see you on the ship, William. Make sure you say hello. Christopher Carroll, Toto opening for ZZ Top in 1979. Nice. Van Halen, Fair Warning. A lot of cool ones. How old is Peter Noon now? He's 104. He doesn't look it. We saw Johnny Mathis talking about 104. Man, he was incredible. Fantastic. Oh, here's AZ. AZ, thank you for the super chat. You make it worthwhile sitting here and being insulted about my age. Would you consider writing an autobiography complete with tell-all stories? Yeah, I think so. We've talked about it for a while. I would need help doing it. And I do feel like the older I get, and with my diabetes and other issues, that I'm losing my mind. And I probably forget everything soon. And I mean, I could be Bruce Willis. I don't know. I hope not. He was a prick, by the way. Bruce Willis was one of the nastiest people I ever met. I couldn't think of a nastier prick. So, rest in peace. Is he alive? Anyway. Warrant, Firehouse, and Trickster. Warrant, House, Fire, and the Down Boys, or whatever. What's the rap in the song? How does it go? It's just Firehouse, Trickster, and the effing Down Boys. I saw that Trickster is on tour right now with Pretty Boy Floyd and some bullshit band that's probably a buy on. It's called the Spirit of '89 Tour. Trickster's record came out in 1990, just for the record. So they're celebrating earlier. There's only 2 members of Trickster, bass player and a guitar player. I wouldn't go see it. And Pretty Boy Floyd, which did come out in '89, and I do like those Leather Boys record, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to be cease and desisted. All right. Anyway, just turned into just when I was going to leave, Kevin Kearney with a generous super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Wayne, unless you're in that band, maybe I'm wrong. I never heard of it. And usually bands like Trickster and Pretty Boy Floyd have a buy-on band, meaning they pay for the bus type of thing. Everyone has it. Enough's Enough does it all the time. Faster Pussycat does it all the time. Very commonplace. I never heard of the band. That's the only reason I'm assuming it. They probably weren't born in 1989. Anyway, what is coming up on this show? Oh my goodness. Soon, Les Warner of the Cult Electric album, one of the good albums. He will be here. And I am in deep conversation with Danny Cooksey, Sam from Different Strokes. He was in The Terminator, and he was on a band called Bad for Good, produced by Steve Vai. And it's Sean Clark that represents him and is setting it up. I think he will be here. As I mentioned, Rudy Sarzo and Jimmy DeAnda of the Bullet Boys, and then also Scotty Griffin. I'm home a little bit, and there's going to be interviews coming like you wouldn't believe it. So if you want to get in on it, become a patron, send me your questions. If you already are a patron, get those questions ready. Rudy Sarzo has a long career. I thought, he's not going to talk about the plane crash again. But then I see him at shows in the hallway, and he tells me about it for 2 hours. I figured we might as well let the audience hear it. Hard Rocking Trivia Show. Hard Rocking Trivia Show, maybe he could ask us the trivia questions. He saw Bad for Good live. They were great. I wish I would have saw them. They played in New York. Whatever happened to Kip? He flakes on me all the time. I'll have to text him again. He flakes constantly. I like Kip, but he always has an excuse. And I don't know if he's willing to completely say that he's retiring. I don't know. But what I do is when Kip doesn't respond, I text Rev, and then he flakes on me. Between the two of them, I get flaked on a lot. I love both of them, by the way, and I'll see them on the cruise. Vic Fox would be a good interview. I agree. If anyone has his number, send it my way. I would love to have him on. I would love to reunite him with Chip and Donnie. There's not enough money in it, but I really think Chip, Donnie, Johnny, and Vic is the band. And maybe they can make some money and maybe move up. Chip is an opening for Van Halen tribute bands. I mean, I get it. Everyone's got to make a living. But all right, Mitch, great show, Jason. Made my day better after having an awful Monday. Well, thank you. That is what it's all about. I'm glad we would. Would I interview Color Me Bad? I want to sex you up. Never know. Sometimes I like to do some weird one. Sometimes I like to have someone on that nobody would know. There might be a typo. It says Johnny should be singing those songs. The answer is Donnie should be singing those songs. Denise is saying that Johnny is better than Donnie, but that's ridiculous. Johnny doing an impression of Donnie is not better. Johnny would tell you that, by the way. I love Johnny. But Johnny is doing Donnie, singing it. Johnny does sing them well. And Johnny can sing great harmonies with Donnie, but you want to see the real band. You don't want to see anyone but the real guy, which is Donnie V. Love Johnny too, though. Obviously. Dig the new guy. You're the new guy. He's been on before. I saw Johnny sing lead vocals enough so he's better than Chip. Well, now that's a different story. Johnny should sing over Chip, 100%. I know a lot of inside information. I can't completely say it. Okay. Thank you guys for keeping my sanity in check for the past 2 hours. Well, listen, I have had a blast. I wasn't expecting to. Johnny has super pipes. Watch Johnny sing Queen of the Reich. People seem to think that Johnny. I hear people all the time kind of tease Johnny because he sounds like Elvis Costello, and they think that that's all Johnny does. Johnny can sing anything. He really can. I mean, I've seen it. And watch videos of him singing heavy metal, and you'll see it too. I'm not just saying that. He's not watching anyway. Lisa M., thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Have you ever heard of the KFC Upgrade Guitar Parts Company? No, but I hear the chicken is fantastic. But Wednesday says Bojangles is better. That's my favorite. If you can't get Bojangles, you should get Popeyes, he says, because that's like Bojangles. Anyway, if this show did not offend you, Wednesdays surely will. Sean Clark, Wednesday 13 here. All the things that you love or hate about this show are going to happen. So I suggest you get a thick skin. And thank you all around. Gracie, a great stream all around. Thank you, Gracie. I look forward to seeing your pictures on Instagram. And I'm Wayne Adams said, I would like to see Wednesday Sean and Jason put a band together, perform a show for charity. It's going to happen. I actually talked to a venue. I ran into someone here in Vegas at Walmart. That's where you run into people. And we talked about it. It's going to happen. Probably one of these horror conventions. First thing is we need to do the convention appearances and show these conventions that we do more for the conventions than they know. That a lot of people watch this show. So we're going to do it. I got a little problem with my hand. I've had this trigger finger thing, but now it's moved here. I think I could still play bass. I would probably tape the pick to my fingers. Sounds crazy, but maybe it would be a short show. Scarlett says, happy new birthday. Any idea what that means? His birthday was June. Mine was, well, anyway, thank you. Maybe it was like a Frosty the Snowman. Happy birthday. I got a Frosty the Snowman action figure I'd like to show you. Here. I got this. It came damaged. Everything from Amazon comes damaged. But I think this is really cool. And I also think that one day this is going to have some value. Because what happens is the license is going to change hands. And no one's going to have a Frosty action figure. To my knowledge, this is the first time they licensed a Frosty action figure. And it's pretty cool. I might buy a few. I might stock up. Anyway.
Is that Super 7? Who made that one?
It's Super 7, yeah.
Okay. Those are cool.
There's a lot going on. I can't keep up. Christopher Carroll is saying Churches, Bojangles, Popeyes. I think we played an FMK with those before. That's where the whole Bojangles came from.
Bojangles.
David says he got a shot for the trigger finger. You wouldn't believe how good it worked. My hand specialist told me that they couldn't give me the shot because it would elevate my blood sugar to a dangerous level. So that's what the problem is. Yeah, Lorraine would even go to the horror convention to see the three of us play. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Wednesday's very tough on musicians, though. So I have to explain to him that we're just having fun because he's very serious. Despite his fun-loving, silly image, boy, he's tough. Mostly on drummers, so Sean can deal with that. Yes, Johnny did good, and I don't think I can have the surgery either. So who knows? I'm just going to suck. You know, it goes away. I heat it. I have to go back to doing hand therapy. It's too late to tell the story now. But anyway, I'm glad that so many people have stayed. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel. That's what you're supposed to do. And watch those tour diaries. They're going crazy, by the way, Jason. I don't know if you've seen it. The numbers are insane. The George Lynch one in the rain, it was a rainstorm in Michigan. I put that one out. on New Year's Eve, it has pushing 30,000 views.
Wow.
It's crazy. And then I put one out yesterday or on Sunday. Yeah, yesterday. And that one's closing in on 15,000 views. My video of going to visit the Alice Diner, which was one that I thought no one would watch. I thought I was just doing it for myself. Rest in peace, Linda Lavin. And that one's over 4,000, closing on 5. So it's so great. Hard Rock and Trivia Show enjoys the tour diaries. Hard Rock and Trivia, we got to get you involved. Maybe we could do what the kids call a collab. And when I was a kid, it was called the Circle Jerk. And we can all just chat and do a trivia. It'll be fun. People like that. Denise enjoys the tour diaries, and a lot of people like them. So they're coming. And again, if you're a channel member, like California Dreaming, you're 3 ahead of everybody else. I appreciate all your support. And also, you can buy my merchandise. I forgot. We have T-shirts for sale. I don't have one handy, or I would show you. But Jason, you didn't get your shirt yet, did you?
No, but they're available on wastetsometime.myshopify. $30. It's a great value.
I'm shocked you even know that link. I don't know the link. And through the miracle of television, here is one now. Go on and get one. This is the limited edition one. I'm going to change this one next time. I'm not going to have the Ramones shirt on. I'm going to maybe have my glasses on, and I'm going to make this logo smaller. And I think the back is going to say, I wasted time with Jason Green, and all I got is this lousy t-shirt. I don't know, something like that. So buy these while you can, because I'm not making that one until we're completely sold out. No more balls. Oh, there are balls. Balls, right? Yeah, we still have balls, at least 2. One hangs a little lower than the other. But they're available, and I will still sign them. But any special advice for washing a signed shirt? Jason, do you have an answer for that? I don't think there is an answer.
Do not wash it.
Do not wash it. Or
wash it.
inside
Don't
out,
wear
inside out, a hand wash, inside out in a pillowcase. But I used a good pen, but some people say dry clean or don't. If you just want to display it, just display it. If not, did you get a new kitty? I try to get kitty as often as I can, but no, it's too hard for me right now. With traveling, there's some stray cats in this gated complex, massive complex I live in that I would like to take home, but not right now. Can't do it yet. Wednesday reminds me of Richard Christie and Johnny's Fred. You get a Robin voice of reason, like Michelle. Yeah. Well, when the Wednesday impression is Richard Christie. That's my favorite. Someone wrote me an e-message the other day, and they said, I don't like the show when Wednesday's on and all you do is just kiss up to him. Kiss up to him. I never insult somebody more. I told Wednesday that yesterday. I make fun of his accent. I make fun of where he lives. I make fun of what he eats. And what I was trying to say earlier is we all make fun of each other. Every one of us busts each other's balls. So for anybody who's so tightwad, well, Lorraine, if you want to wear it on the cruise, and then I could sign it again, and then you could retire. David Pierce says, I'm staring at ball surgery. No more ball talk, thoughts, and prayers, please. I'm hoping you're not staring at someone else's ball surgery, but maybe you require it. I will give you my thoughts and prayers, and hope for the best. Ball surgeries in most cases are treatable. And if early detection is everything. Nobody wants to go through it, but Jeff Young has one ball of Megadeth, and there's a lot of famous people out there who had surgery. Maybe I don't even know what your surgery is, and I don't mean to make light of it. I do enjoy a good ball conversation, but I meant Christmas ornaments. What, Jason? Show the figures just a little bit. What figures are behind you? This could take all day. So just tell me about.
This is the Mego shelf. So this is like 10 or 15 signed Mego figures. So that's like Eric Estrada, Uncle Lloyd from Trauma, Ultraman, just stuff like that. Some Charm stuff.
You'll come back.
Dolls.
You'll come back and we'll talk toys.
Yep.
You know, I think that's what we got to do. Thank you everyone for watching. I got to get the fuck out of here. And Jason it is at least 70 inches of snow now. He's got to get the snowmobile and the sled. All right, we'll do this again. And Christopher Carroll says Wednesday's been a great addition. So he is not a stick in the mud. That's my favorite. And all right, thank you for watching. Join me live on Wednesday. Bye-bye.